Baddies at Work, the podcast that celebrates the incredible women driving the wheels of change in the ride-sharing industry. I'm your host, Bugi Saboniswa, and today we are diving into the fascinating world of women bots and Uber drivers. Uber and Bolt has revolutionized transportation, connecting passengers with drivers at the tap of a button. And in recent years, there has been a significant rise in the number of women taking the wheel as Uber or Bolt drivers. These women are breaking stereotypes, shattering glass ceilings, and carving their paths in a traditionally male-dominated industry. In this episode, we'll hear the story of a remarkable woman who has chosen to embark on this journey. We will explore her motives, experiences, and the unique challenges she faced while driving passengers from one destination to the other. In this podcast, we'll meet women who have found independence, flexibility, and financial stability through their work as Uber and Bolt drivers. We'll also discuss how driving for Bolt and Uber has become a platform for empowerment, allowing women to thrive and build connections within their communities. But it is not just about the drivers. We will also hear from passengers who have made memorable experiences with women, Bolt and Uber drivers, from heartwarming stories of support and friendship to unexpected encounters that have changed lives. These stories showcase the power of human connection that can be forged during a simple car ride. Throughout this episode, we'll delve into unique challenges that women face in the ride-sharing industry. We'll explore safety concerns, strategies for self-protection, and inspiring ways in which these women have taken control of their own safety and well-being. Join us as we celebrate the resilience, determination, and achievement of women that are Bolt and Uber drivers. Get ready to hear the stories of triumph, compassion, and the empowering impact they are making on the road, one ride at a time. So buckle up, because this episode of Baddies at Work is about to take you on a thrilling journey into a life of a former Uber driver. So, let's hit the road.
How's everything? Are you good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. So Naledi is a former Bolt driver rather. So my first question to you is, when you were driving for Bolt, was it easy to work in certain places in Johannesburg compared to others?
I was actually saying no, because in terms of Joburg, I'm not quite sure which areas you're talking about, but then I never went to Joburg CBDs and town because before I did that, I had to do some research first. There are some of the areas that are high risk in terms of driving there, especially if you're a woman. So I avoided such places. I always preferred suburbs and malls. Yeah.
Okay, so within Johannesburg, the areas I mean are areas within the city of Johannesburg. So as you've mentioned, CBD, you didn't drive there. So areas like Soweto, areas like Sandton, Midrand, and stuff like that within the municipality, like which areas did you find? And I understand you said that you prefer to drive in suburbs and like to malls. So exactly where in Johannesburg?
Mostly I'll be in Soweto, mostly Project Lane Mall, or else I'll go to Four Wales and Southgate. Yeah, those are the most of the places that I was always around.
Okay. So how did this like affect your ability to work? Because I'm assuming that maybe like sometimes you will get a ride that says they want to go to, let's say, Braamfontein, for instance, and you have mentioned that because of safety concerns you didn't want to drive in those areas. How did that affect your ability to work in the area and make money essentially?
Yeah, it did because I would say sometimes, you'll get those rides that go straight to the areas that you don't want to go. And at the same time, you see that, okay, the ride you've got, maybe it's costing a bit of, the money is good. But at the same time, life is more important. So I'll just have to decline that trip. And most it will affect the score and stuff. But most importantly, you can replace money, but you'll never replace your life. So I always make sure that my life comes first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So wait, you're saying on Uber, if you don't accept or Bolt, if you don't accept a ride and you the driver, it affects your score.
Yes, it does. It does. The score
Really?
drops in a way that when the score drops and goes below 60, a Bolt will actually block you and take your profile to evaluation and stuff. They never consider the fact why we decline some of the trips, because
Yes.
sometimes you have to check it. Maybe the trips is taking you like it's a long distance trip. Then you check the profile. Maybe the person is just it's the new account or it's the man. There are some of the things that we check so that we have to to feel a bit comfortable. Remember, our profiles are verified and stuff, but in terms of customers, they are not. Because at the same time, customers have to be safe and stuff. We as well have to be safe because this industry, there's a lot of crime and stuff as well.
Ish. Okay, I wasn't aware of that, and I think that's it's unfair that they penalize you for declining a trip while not knowing why you declined the trip. That's really unfair. But okay. So my second question is, when Bolt and Uber were introduced in South Africa and recently, there's been incidents of violence between Bolt and Uber drivers and minibus taxis and cab drivers. Considering this and broader issues like high gender-based violence and femicide levels in our country, in your view, to what extent are women drivers safe? And has there been an improvement in recent years with how the police deal with these incidents?
For women, in instance, I would say it's risky because as women we cannot fight. We cannot actually. Yeah, it's not even easy, and the fear rises because as much as we go and work in this industry, we do work, but the fear is there, and then there's no improvement. Actually, it's becoming worse, and we feel like the police. They are actually siding with the tax industry because every time this happens, the tax industry is the one that starts. At the end of the day, we are the ones that lose. That lose the places. Will be told restricted in so many places. Like recently, the incident that happened in Soweto, we're now not allowed to go inside the malls. And at the same time, we lost some of the cars. Some of the cars were burned, some were smashed. It's kind of this inhaling business. The police are not taking it seriously. The tax industries are always winning.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that police are leaning more to supporting the taxi industry versus Bolt and Uber drivers? Because you guys have legitimacy to be drivers in South Africa. It's not like you guys are breaking the law by being drivers, but why is it that they side with one form of transportation over the other?
That is a question that I always ask myself because always, I would say I don't know, because at the same time our customers are complaining as well because they would say taxes are far, they drop them far at the same time, and then they need to be heard as well, so that maybe if they voice up, maybe yes, the associations will actually consider. But then from what I've seen, they never consider what customers want. It's all about what the tax association want. So maybe it's all because the tax association is dominating it's the dominating industry. It's all over the country. Maybe that's why it's always been there.
Okay. Do you think there's something that can be done, maybe by like government officials, to assist in this? Because it doesn't make sense that you guys aren't allowed to enjoy the same liberties and the same rights as taxi drivers. So I'm thinking possibly, do you think that the government should be doing something or intervening?
Yes, the government should. Because as much as the tax industry, they've got ranks where they pick up, where they drop off, things like that. They should as well consider doing the same in terms of e-hailing drivers. This is the pickup, this is the drop-off, so that the customers, people they make choices on their own. You want to go to hailing, you want to go to taxis, but no fighting in between. They should make actually those rules as much as the tax industry got ranks, which has legally ranks. They know that's where taxis pick up people, drop off and stuff like that. They should legalize that in terms of e-hailing and then put the boundaries that there's no fight in between those two. Because at the end of the day, we always work with fear because anytime, yes, that work can start. Sometimes there are some of the malls that we don't even go. We know it's a no-go area. So we work in fear. Sometimes even if you see a text, you just can't drop a client. You'd be like, sorry, can I kindly drop you at the other side so that these guys won't fight? You like, we work in fear. So the government should intervene and make sure that there's legally, the tax association legally binds with that and make sure that they know e-hailing business is not going anywhere.
Okay. So as we've mentioned before, you have decided to not be a Bolt driver anymore. Could you please, if you don't mind, take us through the reasons for this?
Oh, okay. The reason why I went to this industry is because I lost my job, all right, and then at the same time I had a car. So I decided, I'm not going to sit and fold my hands while there's some other business opportunities outside that I can use to make money. I'm a mother. I'm a single mother. I've got kids as well. So I registered my car there so that I can be able to continue paying my installment and feeding my kids as well. So I left it March when I got a job. But then at the same time, I didn't take my car out. I rented it. Someone is driving it for me.
Oh, okay. So you'd say that it's possibly like a really good business model in terms of people wanting to make money and the flexibility that it gives you.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Because trust me, I'm a single mother of 3. Right? I managed to do everything for my kids. I actually everything. So I was actually so good. So at this time, it made me think, oh no, now I got a job. So why not continue? Because one salary is never enough. So I'm making it as a hustling. And at the same time, I still have goals about it. I told myself, I'm going to save more and buy another car and put it in that industry. As much as there's this fear of the unknown. But at the same time, with this economy, I need to think ahead as well and think about my future, my kids. So it's a good money. Yeah.
Okay. Did you face any challenges like that would probably be very different to male drivers? Like any specific challenges because you are women in the industry?
I would say in terms of that, I'll say no. Actually, for me, it was actually an advantage because what I realized is there's less women in that industry and there's more men. So there's this category, women for women. So most women who travels with kids or children and stuff like that, they prefer that category. So for me, it was an advantage. I was always on the road, Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's actually really nice.
Because we less and people prefer the safety. And trust me, the positive feedback that I was getting from clients, they made me wake up in the morning. I was like, okay, let me go out and save other women out there so they can feel comfortable when going around with their kids. Especially women with babies, small babies, kids. Some will be sending me with their kids at school to drop off the kids and pick them up later.
Oh, that's actually really nice. Like that's really nice. The fact that women are also just building communities within that industry and ensuring that they are safe and us actually caring for one another is such a beautiful thing and it's so inspiring. Like that's really so inspiring.
Yes, and it actually, with the fear of everything that's happening outside, crime and stuff, women so feel uncomfortable when it's in terms of male drivers. And you've heard those rumors where people buy profiles using someone's profiles and stuff like that. So imagine you driving a long distance. you alone, it's you and the driver. The comfortability, you need to be safe and comfortable at the same time. Imagine you've got kids, there's a lot of things that are happening around in South Africa in terms of kids being abducted and stuff like that. So their stuff and their comfortability made me, you know what, I was like, this is so nice. And then this is so, I'm actually happy because at the end of the day, some will even take my number and say, you know what, if I will rather call you for private trips, because sometimes when I go to churches at night, but then we need a woman because we feel so uncomfortable around men.
Sure. Yeah, that's really amazing. That's really amazing. And thank you also for the work you've been doing, because that's super inspiring. And I know for myself, when I am in an Uber, like, safety comes first. So thank you for that. And thank you for making other women feel safe. But I just have two more questions. The first one being, your current driver right now, the person that's driving for you, are they a woman or are they a man?
I actually choose a woman.
Oh, really? Okay. Why was
Yes.
that?
Yeah, we used to meet whenever maybe we were at the malls and stuff. And then she told me that the car she was using was always giving her problems. Sometimes she'd pack for weeks or 2 weeks and stuff. So we exchanged numbers while we were still working. So when I left the industry, I contacted her.
Okay,
Because at the same time, it was all about two things. When you women, which had, according to, we're single mothers taking care of our kids and stuff, and at the same time, the safety that I found, the comfortability of our customers as well. So, you know what, let me give another woman a chance so that she can look after her kids as well, because this industry is full of men, and most of the time, the men can make us feel like small, because someone will tell us, no, why are you doing this? You can't do it. I said, why can't I do it if you can do it? You understand?
that's true.
Sometimes they do undermine us, but then it's all about confidence and what you want. You just have to forget what they say.
Pure, that's like really inspiring, and I love the fact that you're all about women empowerment and stuff like that, which in the industry you're in. It's super empowering and inspiring, and thank you so much for that. But then my last question to you is, when you did have the job, or when you were still working as a Bolt driver, how did that affect your general well-being in terms of, like, financially, socially, mentally, all of that? Like, how did it affect your well-being?
I'll say, in terms of, I'll say no, it didn't affect me that much. You know why? It's kind of, when you're a Bolt driver, it's a matter of, I remember I was working for myself. So you just have to make your target. How much you want to make for this week, and then give yourself a day off. Because at the same time, I was a Bolt driver and I was studying as well. And at the same time, I'm a mother. But trust me, I never find it so difficult. I'll just use those days when it's quiet to stay home, study, and make sure I'm there for my kids.
Wait, so you studying, you working, and also you are a single mother. Wasn't that like a lot in terms of you learning how to divide your time? Because I'm assuming as well, like, if you're a single mother, there's a lot of other things that you need to do. Like, you'd have to go home, take care of the kids, ensure that they fed, and the fact that you're also studying. Like, wasn't that like a lot to juggle?
Oh, it was. Trust me, sometimes I'll feel like, there's a days where you feel like, oh, I just want to quit. Then you remember why you started.
Mm.
Yeah, sometimes I'll say, you know what, maybe I need to take a break. I'll start later. I was like, when is later? Then like at the same time, sometimes when you want to wake up, it's so hard. Okay, my kids need to eat at the same time. So it's a matter of, you need to motivate yourself to wake up every day in the morning. Because no one will motivate you. You need to motivate yourself. Why you started. When you think of quitting to start, I'll say why I started. When you think of not waking up, you think about, you look at your kids. Trust me, looking at them, it's going to motivate you again.
Yo, that's really beautiful. That's really
It's very
beautiful.
challenging. Very, very challenging. Sometimes I'll feel like, oh God, I'm so tired.
Mm. Sure. Okay. Okay. But I've had so much fun having this conversation with you, and you have given me so much insights into things that I didn't even think about in terms of your experiences as women that are Bolt or Uber drivers. And I am thankful so much for you taking time away from your very busy schedule to give me just a couple of minutes to just conduct this interview or this conversation. And I'm really thankful for even coming across you and even learning all of these things and you allowing me into your life like that. So with that being said, thank you so much for coming onto the interview. Do you have any last words for the viewers and the listeners?
What I would say is, when I look back, before I started into this business, I used to do some just little research, like asking, sometimes you request as a customer, you'll ask the driver, what is it, how is it in the business? Just wanted to know if I can join so that I can make some extra money. And trust me, 90% of those feedback that I was getting was so negative. But then at the end of the day, when I lost my job and joined, I realized, you know what, there's a lot of jealousy outside. Sometimes you need to stand up, do it for yourself. Don't listen to what people say. At the same time, people will be telling you, no, the industry is dead. There's no money. It's risky. But at the same time, that person is telling you that, he's sitting at the seat, he's driving, he's making money for his kids, but he's telling you that there's no money. At the same time, he's telling you that it's risky. So why is he doing it? So what I learned is most of us, blacks, we actually don't want to empower each other. We don't want to make each other grow. Instead, we bring each other down. So at the same time, you need to think of yourself. What do you want? What do you want to do? So don't let anyone demotivate you. If you want to do something, just go for it. Yes, there's risky. Anyway, which business doesn't have risky? Even if you invest in a business and you sit down, there's risky, you're going to lose money. So if you're going to be afraid of risky, then trust me, you're going to be poor for the rest of your life. There's nowhere that's not risky. Every day now I'm waking up, I'm going to work. It's risky. Taking a test, going to work. If there's accident, there's stuff, there's crime. So I'm going to sit at home and do nothing just because there's risky outside. You get it? So we need to, you need to just stand up for yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't let anything stop you. There's nothing such as risky outside. Everything is risky. And if you want to be poor, you just have to sit at home and close the door. But if you want to do something for yourself, we just have to face that's risky.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I will take that into my own life as well. To just think that if I really want to do something, I should do it and not really think about the risk, because there's always risk involved everywhere. And that is something that I'll always be thinking about out of this interview that you have, that we have conducted today. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the insights. I really enjoyed this interview. And forward to women that are Bolt drivers, forward to women that are Uber drivers and that are claiming spaces and taking up space and saying that I belong here and I'm going to be a difference, and I'm going to make a difference, and I'm going to ensure that I hustle and I get this money and I secure the bag. So thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bonisa. I just wish a lot of women could join this industry, because there's actually less of them, and we need them in this industry, because our safety for kids and women, we need a lot of women to join this to join this industry for safety, yes, of course, and for empowering other women and for doing things for ourselves as well.
Thank you for joining us on this inspiring ride through the world of women, Uber and Bolt drivers. I hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the incredible women who are leaving their mark on the ride-sharing industry. And if you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to listen to the next one for more empowering stories, industry insights, and thought-provoking discussions. And remember, the next time you hop into an Uber or a Bolt, take a moment to appreciate the dedicated women behind the wheel who are making a difference. Until next time, keep driving forward, breaking barriers, and embracing the journey. This is Wikisa, signing out.